NVIDIA is reporting they're preparing to bring back the GeForce RTX 3060 graphics card to help them tackle VRAM shortages. Oh, okay. I guess the VRAM shortage is in the crisis right now, so the 50 series is a bit of a hiccup already. They are in the low shortages, and also the high-end GPUs are in the high price from 2,000 to 5,000. So DRAM is in a bit of crisis when it comes to like demands around here, and now VRAM is getting the hit right now. So as you know, I've been keeping an eye out with many of these type of models, whether it's the LM and imagery and video models that is actually kind of getting advanced and getting a bit smaller and also getting more quality. So actually, I've been looking at why is it happening around RTX 36 RTX graphics card that is getting hit because NVIDIA has a better CUDA. So I pretty much say that CUDA is the biggest target around here. Now, for the RTX 3060 that I've been searching around from eBay, this is a kind of like what the RTX looks like here. And as you know, this RTX is actually 12 gig or 8 gig. I know with the show there are two versions around here. So I focus on the 12 gig around here with 50 GPPS with GTX R6 and 192 bits of this one. So I don't usually kind of spell it right when it comes to like showing off of this one. So this is quite what the GPU models right now. So it is still going down around like $300 to $400. So if you're thinking about buying it so far, so I think they're going to be ramping up to the production around here. So good news for gamers, but also a little bit bad news for those who want to get the graphics card. So it's going to be of hustle and a bit of hard to get it so far in this day and age of RAM shortages so far. Now this is something that this GPU will be on sale for a couple of days, and they want to bring back the RTX 30 series back on the track around it. As you know, I do have the RTX 3080 Ti that still works around it, but also as you know, there are some models from ComfyUI which I'm going to be showing to you. Now, this is the ComfyUI, which is actually an open source for a lot of models that you can test out, try out, and you can just see how it runs here. And it does have a microtransaction that you can use it for APIs from this one. So it is quite a bit of open source for you to do workflow and test out and what type of workflow that it fits on you, and then it will actually good to generate one of this. Although it has recommendations that you have to use the plugins and use some physics, finance like that, and also you have to kind of like get used to how to get the plugins in and out working. So if you use the management around here, so if I go to templates around here, and you see these templates are actually open around here. So you see there are some image, video, audio, LLMs, which is only for API users, and also 3D models that you can see around somewhere else here. So if I look down, there are some latest ones here, like the Q image editing here, which is a competitor from Nanos Bananas. And if you go a little bit more down here, you can see some videos around here. So I want to take a little bit focus around bit down here. So if I go to the image here for this one here, so here's Nanos Bananas, and you can see there's an API which you have to kind of buy. You had to kind of like buy a currency to kind of like have the image generation around here. So it's just a little bit optional here. So if I go down here and I want to give you a little bit example about an example around here, which is the Z image turbo for the text to image around here, and Alpha image, which I have now go for to it. So I want to just a little focus around this one here, the zooming edge to turbo here. So if I go around for this one, this is the Z image turbo, which is has a slash animate here. So I'm using this reference for this model here. Now this is actually the model that I use to customize this one, and this is the AIO version, which is specific for uncut textures in the code. For those who use a preloader for the lowest files. And as you know, some lowest files can actually import it this way and modify into like a checkpoint for the initial model that you actually use it for generating stuff. Now, since the IO has been very popular for using for checkmarks for image generation, so there are some versions that are very effective at this. So we have F8 version for the effect in pass, FP16 for maximum capacity, and the BF16, which is for a large one for maximum quality. So as you know, is quality a lesser gigabyte size for 20. And as you can see the generated steps that actually has line faster for this one. And actually it works for quite the user for the second series. So I did try it for many of the new ones, but not sure about the 30 series about this one, but it does work well for this one. It has that chimney with anime styles, particularly with non-C to work, which has an important work with this. All for one, with no separately for no downloads that you don't need it to put up most of it. And it can actually run with 8 gigabytes of VRAM, which it works only for 4060. It does work with the lower RAMs too, so I'm gonna bring up towards it. So as you know, this is a slow recommendation that is used for like lower RAMs or any type of lower versions that you have here. So we have a AP8 version, which is an AIO that can actually have the size, faster download speeds, and perfect for 8 gigabytes of VRAM. And another is the 16 that you see here, which is ideal for RTX 20 and 2000 and 3000 series GPUs. Wow. And I know that everyone wants to get into this version, but this is worse for you. Let's see here. As you know, it absolutely has the best quality as critical work, and it still works with 8 gigabytes of VRAM. Boy, that is something you want to know, that everyone will have to get this one here, because the BF16 has a way of sharp quality for the image that it has here. So it doesn't need to concern with the storage, but as you know, this is the biggest model size that you have to kind of like download this one. It's not much of what what's the flu model for that one that they have here. So yeah, it's gonna be very bad for all of us for the GPU users. So I'll give this one. You can actually install it for ComfyUI model for checkpoint only, although it's very separately. It doesn't work most of it for Worrisome. So for testing for anime portraits, so this is what the anime portrait is. So there's some inputs you can put like add detail for this one here. And there's a prompt for this, and it works for 21.5 seconds. And here's diameter action shots that you can see here. So it works around most of the lower shots here, and some anime landscapes here, which is not that perfect here. Also character designs too. Anyway, the other model that is happening around in video quality image here is actually for the higher videos on 1.5 for the project that is actually works with 720p. So I'm working on, so this is the one with the 2GP, also works in ComfyUI for some, and it can use very low VRAM, and it also works with like 6 gigabytes of VRAM for laptops so far. So I'm just gonna bring out to you about so I'm gonna bring it around what the model looks like around here. So this is a higher one here. So I'm pointing around here down the bottom here. So is working with a high quality with 720p, which is something that is really, although it only lasts around a couple of like 3 seconds, but also it has a runtime to lower for about 10 minutes or so. So that's what it has for a lot of stuff that you have to kind of work on. It's a little bit of struggle here. And the biggest struggle here. Yeah, as you know, sometimes this model has some drawbacks around it, but it has big plugins that you have to require to use it here. So that's pretty much it you're gonna know for, though the demo of the video has become unlisted for some reason here. Though it does only work around high-end GPUs that can actually run better around like 75%. I'm really not sure about all this one. So let's just ask what the chat question of the day about the Z-Image Turbo. Does it work with RTX 3060? Yes, it does work with the RTX 3060 for Alibaba, which I really know why Alibaba was always there. It works way mid-range for all this. Now there are many versions around here. So you're gonna take it so far. Though it takes a bit of 90 to 30 seconds here, which is actually true if you are using like a 3D series graphics card for that. And actually it works with the 3060 series too. Although there are many multiple versions like the FP8 and the GGUF here, which is like the cut down versions of is quite a hassle fit around here. And it only works over like 4Q or 8Q, which is had to cut down the storage size like that. That doesn't work with the high U version. So high U videos 1.5. So it actually says yes, it requires some of the lower VRAMs for that one. So it only works around 40 gigabytes of VRAM. It actually runs smoothly, but it can actually works with 12 gigabytes if you want to use it for. So stay recommended if you're using FP8 or the GGUF for that. So it takes a bit of memory size, so it only has 3 seconds of video, but only takes about 10 minutes to generate it for more resolution if you're using that type of resolution here. Also, man, you need these RAMs, 32 gigs to 64 gigs of RAM. That is something you have to load this one offline. No wonder the companies are buying this one, even though it has a storage compatibility about this one. So that's what it has here, like 30 gigabytes or 40 gigabytes here. I guess that's the reason that the SSD storage are also getting hit by it too so far with a lot of SSDs, NVIDIA like that so far. Also, another random one that I want to point out to here is that does it work at Kindle Sky 5.0, which is something I picked up this randomly. So it actually says yes, it can actually work with the RTS 3060 for compatibility use for all of it. So I'm just gonna bring out this again. So if I go back up here, this is what it is. This is a lightweight 2B model, which is actually going to be used for slow use around here. And I guess that, well, actually can work around here though. If I look around in this one thing, it does work with GPUs here and it requires many bytes around it. To be apparently, it works with most of the version, but if you want the pro version, you need to have a lot of requirements for a lot around like 16 or 12, 16 devices. So there's the price around here so far. And yeah, that's pretty much what give me some answers of here. Now, I'd have to do a little bit of research or seeing these type of models that everyone wants to get here. So I noticed that there's going to be a discussion and complaints about me. So I'm sorry. I just want to be very worried. If your gamers want to get the RTX 3060, best of luck for you. And I noticed that there will be a lot of scalpers and a lot of buyers that will keep buying and resell it as a scalper thing. So this is going to be a bit of concerning for you, a bit of warning that if you want to think about doing this one for gaming around here, I suggest that you have to kind of list that, buy it as much as you can. Otherwise, we're going to have another shortage around 30 series. And yeah, that's pretty much that I want to like show it to you here. So it's a bit of good news is that NVIDIA is trying to stop these soldiers around here. The problem is that the coding, the code is so good that this will actually give them more time to develop how to size the models around here. Now, I've been into eyeing around many type of AI models that were very fitable and very smaller from around here. So you have to be very maybe cautious about all this one. So yeah, and that's so much I could say here. So yeah, the technology is getting a bit more scarier, and as you know, the models will be very advanced, very smart, and very little something the little models so far, and the storage will be bigger so far. You can blame me to this. Man, I wonder how this will go. Good luck, everyone.